Today's Bears mailbag is sponsored by Manscaped. Get the best men's grooming products on the planet right now with that link below. Go to manscaped.com. Use our code BEARS20. It's going to get you 20% off plus free shipping at checkout. So go check them out. It's Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Go check out Manscaped. Stephen Hunt, Flus needs to put the foot down and rebuild his staff if he wants to stay. I mean, it's hard to do that on the fly, though. Like, should they bring in someone to help with the defense? Probably, because you lost Allen Williams. Yes. Could you fire Getsy, and would I be on board with that? Absolutely. But like, you're not retooling the whole staff on the fly. Like, there's small things you can do in the middle of the season, but it's not like he's reinventing the 2023 Chicago Bears between week 3 and week 5. Like, it's just not doable. Hudson with the super chat, appreciate it. Do you wish the Bears would have picked C.J. Stroud over Justin from Ohio State? You mean like trade Justin this offseason, draft Stroud number 1? Stroud looks good early on. It's 3 games, but he does look pretty good. I still think this next draft class is awesome. And to be honest, like, you owed it to yourself to evaluate Fields in 23, and you still do. Like, you that's why, like, barring like an 0-8 start, like just a disaster, like, you should play him all year. Like, get a full evaluation there, turn every last stone, and if you still come up empty, if he's not the guy, then so be it. But Justin showed too much promise last year and has too much raw talent for you to punt 2 years in. I think that keeping him for this year at least was the right move. Jacob Manley, got my son to love Fields. He's all my son's talked about today. I don't have the heart to tell him. Guess I'm in it for the long haul for Justin. That's what's tough about this stuff, man. Like, now that I've got a kid here too, like when he's older and we start talking about players and teams and stuff, like, you get invested in this. And that's why, fans deserve better than the product they're getting. And look, like, I regardless of where this goes for Justin, that's what's so hard for me with this is he's got so much raw talent. And that's why I just don't understand how it can look like this. Like, I am so convinced that with better coaching, it would look better. I just am. Like, I don't get what has gone on here. Joshua with the 5, first-time super chatter. 2, 3, 4, 5. He says, is this franchise the worst-run professional sports organization on the planet? It is certainly the worst team I've ever seen in my 40 years as a fan. I mean, given the hope and at least the somewhat expectations coming into this year, this is about as bad of a start as you can have. I mean, think about what you've seen. You got blown out by your arch rival at home against the Packers in the first game without Aaron Rodgers. Okay, that sucks. You go down to Tampa Bay, and Baker Mayfield is basically, this is kind of considered his last chance for his career, especially as a starter. He looks like Joe Montana. You lose that game. And then your defensive coordinator has to resign due to inappropriate conduct. Then you go to Kansas City and you just get boat raced. You're down 41-0 in three quarters. That's bad, man. Like, it does not get much worse than the start the Bears have had this year. F. Marsh. He says, if the Bears keep losing, should they trade Yannick Ngakoue since he's only on a 1-year deal? It's an interesting idea. You look at Ngakoue this year, 8 tackles. He's got a sack, a couple TFLs, 3 QB hits. He's been okay. You can't whiff on 2 sacks on Baker Mayfield, I'll tell you that. I mean, you got to get him down at least one of those times. That's just unacceptable. But yeah, the problem is Ngakoue is a good player, but when you have no real other threat on that defensive line, it's hard to get consistent pressure and production if you're him. So, I mean, could he be a guy you trade? Yeah, I don't think you'd get much for him. I mean, it'd be a day 3 pick. He didn't sign until August. I mean, 5th, 6th round pick, team that needs a pass rusher, maybe. I don't think the Bears are in a spot where they'd trade him right now, but if you're 2-6, 3-5 at the deadline, you don't feel like you're making a run, then I think a lot of guys could be available on the trade block for teams to trade for. Name a player that you guys think the Bears should trade away. Who's out there that you would ship out of town? Let us know in the comments below. Pinned comment on today's video, so if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, reply right there. Of Corbin Britton, I've backed him for a bit, but I'm starting to think about a Riley Caleb package with the draft capital we have now and a mismanaged nut show of a staff. Maybe bring in a vet to help Lincoln. Like a vet, like coach, like to be a coordinator or something like that, or a vet quarterback. I'm not sure what you're saying there, but yeah. I mentioned this on our Matt Eberflus replacements video. If they want to move on from Flus, if you're in position where you can get Caleb Williams, a.k.a. you have the number 1 pick, then a Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley combination is something you have to consider. I know the NFL is a different deal, but you bring him in here, you get a proven defensive coordinator, because that's one thing. Lincoln Riley, you cannot trust him with defense. Like, he is not a defensive guy at all. But if he's just the head coach and focusing on offense, get a vet DC in here, I would have no problem with that whatsoever. So it's certainly something interesting to consider here, Corbin, and something we might continue to discuss if losses keep piling up. Hopefully they don't, but either way, get going with Manscaped, because fresh ball fall is here, and you want to have fresh balls, clean balls. You don't want it to smell nasty down there, because things get frisky. Maybe you're on a date and you're having a good time, and your significant other is like, what is that smell? Well, Manscaped's going to keep you nice and trimmed up down there with the Lawnmower 4.0, the crop gel, the reviver down there that you rub on your balls to keep things smelling smooth. If you put deodorant under your arms, you should do it on your balls as well. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the best ball hair trimmer on the market. Go check it out right now. No razor burn. It's going to limit that hair tug as well. It's the best product I've ever used for below-the-waist grooming. So get started today with Manscaped. Use promo code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video. It's Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Tons of other products you guys should check out as well. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. All right, Dart Night. We should have got Doug when we had the chance. Doug Peterson. I was open to that idea, and it would have. Him or Flus? Clearly him. But I don't know if he was at the top of my list. Obviously had a good first year in Jacksonville. They're off to a slow start this year, but I do think he's a good coach. But things fizzled out in Philly very quickly. Time will tell, right? Now, if it's him or Flus, certainly Doug Peterson, but he wasn't involved in the coaching search very long, and you do wonder why that was. Corbin Britton coached to help Lincoln, he said, so Diva Dad doesn't tune in. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's why getting a veteran defensive coordinator makes a lot of sense. Like a Vic Fangio type. Obviously, he's Miami's DC right now, but just someone who's done the job before. He's been in this league for a while, because what you don't want if you're going to bring in a college coach to be your head coach is to not have a staff littered with guys who have coached at the NFL level before. Like, you need a support system around that coach. Dragon, what about trick plays? Include Bagent and Fields, #Bears. That just doesn't really happen in the NFL. I don't see that really being the case. But, look, I'm always down for more creativity. I don't think Luke Getsy has nearly enough of that. So anything to spice it up, I'm certainly down for. DC Viper, which is better, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., or Drake May, or Brock Bowers? I think the Williams-Marvin Harrison combo is better than the May-Bowers combo. I think Caleb's better than Drake, and I think Harrison's better than Brock. Now, Brock is unreal. Like, he is a generational tight end, but give me the Williams-MHJ combo. Koala Man Gaming, do you see a scenario where the Bears get both the number 1 and number 2 pick? I mean, look, it's unlikely, but the fact that it's even possible is pretty damn amazing, right? Carolina, I don't think they're going to be good this year. The Bears don't look like a team that's going to be good. So I think 2 top 5 picks is very much on the table. And if you're going to have 2 top 5 picks, you might as well get the number 1 pick. That would be nice. So I saw today that as of this moment, the Bears currently have a 38% chance of getting the number 1 pick. That's pretty damn high, man. 3 weeks into a season. Now, I know you have 2 picks. You got your own and Carolina's, but the fact that they have almost a 40% chance to get that top selection, that's pretty amazing. Hit that subscribe button here on Chicago Bears Now. We cover all the latest Bears news, big rumors out there, trade buzz, especially as we get closer to the trade deadline. And we have watch parties every single game day, whether it's Sunday games, Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football for the Bears. We've got it covered. We go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. So subscribe. And these live shows are where you can get involved in these Q&A sessions. So don't miss out. Turn on your notifications so you can join us when we go live. Bears, Luke Getsy from the Packers is our OC. YWTF, $2. Appreciate it. The reason they hired him, I don't know if it was so much like, the Packers have been good, let's replicate that. That certainly could have played a role, but I think they wanted that Shanahan-style offense, and he comes from that coaching tree under Matt LaFleur, so that's what they were going for. The problem is Getsy's never called plays before. So it's kind of one of those deals where it's like, obviously, not every team hiring an OC is going to get a guy who's called plays before. There's just not enough of them out there that are proven. But the fact that you hired a first-year head coach, a first-year offensive coordinator, you know what I'm saying? You can't have guys who have never done it before in all of your key positions, and that's kind of what the Bears did. Deputy Newman, bring back Lovie Smith and break the curse. I love Lovie. He's easily the best coach the Bears have had in a very, very long time, last 20-plus years. But at the same time, he's been bad everywhere he's been since the Bears. I don't think they should have fired him after a 10-6 season, but he was bad in Tampa. He wasn't good at Illinois. Texans, that's kind of a wash. That was a muddy situation, but his time has passed in terms of being an NFL head coach. Michael DiBartolo, do we blow up the coaching staff and bring in an all-new head coach and staff to run it back one more time with JF1 while using our top picks on OLDL studs? Look, ideally you would do that, but I just don't think you can pass on a couple of these quarterbacks if they're there if Fields isn't showing enough progress. The trenches are still a major problem, and that's not great, but you got to see more from the quarterback to give him another year, and especially if you're going to go to a third scheme for him. I just don't think you can do that. So if your coaching staff goes, that almost certainly signals your quarterback going as well. Will the Bears beat the Broncos this week? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I wouldn't pick it, but you would hope they at least have a chance. Denver's pretty bad. Michael P., no QB will fix the defense. No QB will fix the O-line. No QB will fix the D-line. A different QB maybe scores a couple more touchdowns, but still wouldn't be good enough. There's no juice. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I do. The fact that there's still this many glaring problems, the fact that your head coach is a fairly proven defensive coordinator and cannot get anything going defensively, that's concerning. Look, the O-line's had major injuries early on this year. It's not ideal. The Nate Davis situation has thrown a wrench into things. But, yeah, that's another reason to not go to Tyson Bagent right now, by the way. You want to put an undrafted rookie behind 3 or 4 backups? That seems like a bad idea. And, yeah, the D-line is inadequate. So, but to your point, a better QB might be able to find a way to score more. Are they 3-0 with the better QB? Probably not. But are they more competitive? You would hope so. You scored 0 points through 3 quarters against the Chiefs the other day. It's got to be better. It just has to be better. Alan Melendez, a problem that is not talked about enough. We need a center badly. That is facts. That is facts. Draft Cedric Van Pran in the second round. Let Lucas Patrick and Cody Whitehair walk. I agree. I'm done with Lucas Patrick. I love Cody Whitehair for what he's done, but he's just not what he once was. He's getting older. He's probably a backup at this point. So, yeah, I'm done with the Band-Aid centers. You got to figure out that position starting next year. All right, appreciate all the questions. If you have any more, hit me up on social media. It's at HGramNFL, both on Instagram and on Twitter. At HGramNFL, that is where you can find me. DMs are open, still catching up on some DMs, but I will get back to you at some point. So hit me up right there at HGramNFL after you follow me.